everyone, Psychic Medium Jojo Empathic here, and today I have a really good video for you guys. It's Soulmates, the Truth Beyond Fantasy is what I'm calling this video. So please like, subscribe, drop a comment, let me know how it speaks to you. I want to start by saying that one of the number one reasons people actually reach out to psychics is about love, relationships, soulmates, etc. All about, am I going to be with him? Who am I going to marry? What does the person that I'm supposed to be with look like? They want to get descriptions, and we want to know, am I with the right person? Who is the right person for me? Am I making the right decision with where I'm investing my time and who I'm investing my time with? So I'm going to break all of this down for you and why. So let's start there. Why is one of the number one reasons people reach out to psychics about love? Because fundamentally, we as human beings desire and need love. We want to feel loved, we want to give love, we want to do things we love, and especially do things that we love with people we love. Love makes the world go round. It wakes us up every day. It gets us out of bed. It helps us to take care of someone else, to lend a hand, to go give gifts, to be of service, we show up to work because we love ourselves and want to take care of ourselves. We have a sense of esteem and love for ourselves, so we just don't let ourselves just fall to the street and have no money. We work because we want to take care of ourselves. We love ourselves. Fundamentally, that's why we're doing all of this. Why we're in this matrix is all about love. Okay, so that's the first thing you have to understand. Now, our concept of love is very skewed. I do have clients on every continent in the world. So I have experienced reading people all over the world, and I see this really interesting connection that many people share. It's this commonality rooted in love. Okay, so if you didn't know, like outside of the United States, culture is different. How we identify is different. Cultural behaviors are different. So not everything is rooted in Western culture and belief if we look on a global scale. But one thing I see is that we are here to love. We are fixated, fascinated with love. Now, biologically, we have organs that help us to reproduce, and the feeling of reproducing and mating it feels really good, and we call this orgasmic. It's juicy. It brings us our neurotransmitters into a state of like ecstasy and orgasm and bliss, and so our primitive nature wants to have sex. We want to reproduce. We want to get those feel good hormones running through us. So we're wired, is what I'm saying, biologically, to seek love, to be loved, and to give love, and to make love. Okay, so love is a very important part of our existence here, is what I'm saying, and it's a good thing. And I'm trying to bring awareness that there's a huge skew to love. Sex is skewed. The program, the machine programs us to believe that sex is dirty and you should just have it with just one person, and if not, you have a title that's a negative connotation. She's a slut, she's a whore, she's promiscuous, right? But with the men, we tend to say that's normal. Men are pigs, men are dogs, they can have as many women as they want. When a woman does it, she gets a really negative title. So aside from that, our programming around sex, a lot of the entertainment industry glamorizes and romanticizes soulmates. So we have that going for us when it's really not the truth to how soulmates work. So we have a lot of illusions we're following around gender, around sex, around soulmates, marriage, and the church sticks its hand in there, its claw, and does a deep, what I call spiritual implant into the mind of what the church says what marriage should look like and be like. And with that also comes the church kind of crucifying or penalizing a way that's outside of what they say you should be. If you do this, you're a harlot. What do they say? Out of wedlock, right? you have a child out of marriage, you're having a child out of wedlock. So, and that's a very negative connotation. I grew up very involved in the Catholic Church, and that was a big title that women would get if they are getting married out of marriage. And so there's an aspect of shame to that. Women feel guilt for that. So you have to understand, if you're trying to reprogram your mind and perhaps you're trying to manifest the one, you have to deprogram yourself around marriage and soulmates and love. Okay? Those are the things you want to find out truths for yourself, not letting someone else tell you what it is. And it really comes down to energy discernment, because you can see the energetics behind the masculine and feminine energies from a higher perspective, not just what someone is saying. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my perspective from reading people around the world, and studying soulmates is a very interesting phenomena. I don't like giving love readings because most people aren't with who they would have prosperity with. Most people today are toxic. They're stuck in toxic behaviors and patterns and ways of thinking, and that manifests like a mirror. If you've been following along on my channel, I talk a lot about empathic mirroring and how it's our nature as a human, connecting human, empathic, intelligent human, we mirror. So a lot of times the toxic population manifests these really toxic relationships. And I think when we put a statistic to it, this looks like, the fact that there's been an increase in divorces, especially in Western culture. I think since the pandemic, there's been an increase in domestic violence cases. There's so much toxicity that's breeding. When two powerful God and goddess, two beings come together, they create. And that's not what the church teaches. The church teaches laws. Okay? So let's break this down. Laws are what you want to understand if you're trying to find the one. God is law. So we all have these laws that we believe in that govern us, our existence. I mean, you may call these the laws of the universe. If you're really religious, you may say the 10 Commandments, or what the Bible says is you'll claim is what God says, right? And you live by those laws, and they govern you, and they influence how you think, okay? So there is a great truth to that, in that when you are awakening and you're trying to find your own truths, you're trying to heal yourself, and maybe perhaps you're trying to manifest a love partner, you need to establish your set of laws for this matrix code. What laws are you going to put in and what comes out of it? Like a mathematical equation. That's how you start to define who God is, because it's consistent. Think of the law of gravity, okay? God is law in that sense, in that I give the expression a lot, or the symbology of if you were to jump off a boat with weights on you, is God going to save you, or is there this law of energy that you're going to sink and die? Okay, so God ain't going to come running in and save you. God is the law that says the weight is going to bring you down to the bottom of the ocean and you're going to sink. Okay, and then from there's laws with our need for oxygen, so you're going to die. You may drown. That's who God is. We like to, this is number 2, if you want to really start to find the right soulmate, is we understand this. We like to believe that there's some man on a throne in space that is God. That's the number one thing you want to stop. Stop with that BS. I'll say it like that because it's so serious. And it not only bleeds into soulmates, but your own ability to heal yourself, to manifest, and how you treat one another, right? Many people that believe this are on a mission. The colony, the conquistadors, it's a mission to help others to not burn in hell, right? Because of the man on the throne. We like to give our power away to the Father God, not the Mother God, right? So we're warped as a culture, especially in Western culture, to believing that there's some outside source to us that's just masculine and governing and dictating and judgmental and punishing. And, you have to stop all that BS if you really want to, like I was saying, manifest more purely and to find truly the one. Okay, so that's one of the biggest things you want to be on the lookout for. Um, to start to begin to define your own set of laws for the universe, then you know God. Okay, so for example, if I were to, let's say I believe in prayer. So I will say that the law, the God, is that if I were to take every morning, maybe light a white candle, close my eyes, go into my heart and pray, manifesting forward, affirming, visualizing, I will say that that is putting into the mathematical equation of life, into the matrix, into the field, energy like a magnet, an energetic factor that will bring back to me what I want to manifest. And I could say that's the law of prayer. Some may call it the law of attraction, the law of magneticism. Okay, so that's the bread and butter that you want to start with, an understanding of to start deprogramming your mind that there's a male God on a throne, and now to start looking more into the laws of the universe and establishing them and living by them and experimenting with them, seeing how they work for you, not just you in your own bubble, in your own, limited perception or reality. Do your laws fit in with other people? This is where we start to bring in soulmates and relationships. You want to be with someone and choose the soulmate where your laws and their laws can coexist. I call soulmates the great dance, the dance of the energies. So let's go ahead and move into that direction. The great dance is what I'll call soulmates. So when it comes to biologically, men have, and when it comes to masculine reproductive organs, they've got, a penis. And so it gives to the woman. It projects out, right? That's what the masculine organ does. So with that dance, naturally, what would come as a pair to that? Her cup, right? She receives. So think of the dance as energy. Okay, get out of that limited mindset that it's just the masculine that exists, because we exist too, women. We do. And there's that. So giving, receiving. Giving and receiving. That's the dance of soulmates. It's not limited to gender, let me be clear. You could have two men that are in love, that are soulmates, but one must give a bit more in that giving dominant energy, and one must be a little bit more submissive. One must be receiving. To have an energetic pair, to have harmony energetically. Let me also be clear here. A lot of men are struggling with the rise of the matriarchy because women are really in their dominant energy. Fellas, let me tell you, dominant women can still be submissive to you. You have to understand, women are multifaceted. We are multifaceted. So, for example, me, I'm a very dominant woman. I have a business. I run it myself. I'm very dominant in communication and getting things done. But in my personal relationship, I like to be submissive to a man. I don't just do that to any man, but that's what I'm looking for in my pair. I'm the submissive in the relationship, even though I'm a dominant woman. And I think a lot of men run from dominant women because they think, number one, how can I control her when she's so dominant? And two, how is she going to submit to me as a giver? It won't work. It's a skill. It's an energetics that you have to master as a masculine if you identify in that way, to be the provider, to be the giver, and understanding that she will be submissive to you. A lot of women do prefer to be submissive. Drop a comment if you know what I'm talking about, but you run shit, but in a certain harmony, in a certain energetics only. So it doesn't matter if this is a man and a woman, or if it's two women or two men. It doesn't matter. Okay, that's part of the church's programming. It just, when you're trying to find a harmonious pair, you want to have this give and this take, this dance, I call it, okay? So it's a harmony dance. Think of energy as moving, and it's just going like this. So a lot of times we have a very dominant woman and a dominant man, and they're karmic soulmates, and they go like this. It's just like it's not a dance. It's funky. It's like it's out of control, and it's not this energetic flow, the harmonious dance. Okay, so if that makes sense, drop a comment, let me know. That's the way I see when we have a harmonious relationship. So I'm going to break this down. Many romanticize the idea of soulmates as the one, but soulmates come in many forms. So we come to Earth with a number, lots of different soulmates. Okay? We always have a choice with who we choose to settle down with. I'm going to help give you some identifiers of a karmic soulmate versus one that I call a work partnership soulmate. So depending on, in the field you're in or your perception, you may have different names for these soulmates. So a lot of times karmic soulmates are very common. I call the ones, can be more than one in your life, can be two. Often it's one or two, the ones in your life, okay? So I call a lot of the karmic soulmates, and I call a lot of the ones work partnership soulmates. Some call these harmonious soulmates. Some call these growth soulmates, work soulmates, whatever you want to call it. But there's a karmic soulmate that I see fundamentally and a work partnership soulmate, okay? Majority of people are with karmic soulmates. They end up marrying karmic soulmates. They think it's the one. So this video, let this educate you so that you're not making these decisions for yourself and your future generations based on a myth or an illusion or what someone else told you that soulmates are really like. So karmic soulmates are here to challenge us for growth. They're not here to stay with us forever. Okay? Karmic soulmates can be intense. They can be magnetic. It can feel familiar. There can be a lot of synchronicities. And you're like, oh my God, he's it. Oh my God, she's the one. Because it's intense. The synchronicities are there. That magic. It's like, oh, I love this. The hormones are going off. Your chest is open. Your womb is like, oh, this is it. Something's good here. This is familiar to me. I like it. However, some of the identifiers of a karmic soulmate is it's challenging you to grow. It can be turbulent. There isn't that dance. She wants to get married. He doesn't. But she's thinking he's the one, right? No. When you find the one you're supposed to be with, there's that dance to where you don't have to change people. You shouldn't want to change people. You want to choose the soulmate that if they don't change forever, you're good with them. You're good by their side. You can be a partner to them. That's not the case. We run with the synchronicity. We run with the magnetic familiar one, and it turns out to be very turbulent, abusive, and toxic, very draining. Okay? So the karmic soulmates are not life partners. They're soul agreements. Join a journey with JoJo. It's a 6-month spiritual development journey that I help you to learn how to read your life contract and soul contracts, agreements, whatever you want to call them, between you and relationships, between you and people, places, things, addictions, work, all of that. It's an agreement that you sign before you come to Earth to help you grow. Not for longevity, okay? But because the church says one love, one marriage, if not, you'll be marked as divorced. And women, they hold this, I'm divorced. I had a child out of wedlock. And it's like a spiritual implant in their brain that degrades them in a way and lowers their self-esteem and sense of worth. And it's awful because it's just not true. Like, you are here to have lots of love, potentially love partners. And if you're here as a dominant woman, I'll say this too, you might be here to really work and get your mission accomplished, and you will have lots of love partners. It's not meant to be just one person, especially if you're an old soul. You've been through the worldly marriage before. You've been through all of that. In this life, you're here to give your mission, but love does come with it. So when we look into, I'm just kind of following my notes, like karmic soulmates bring unresolved patterns to the surface, okay? So they can bring an awareness to you that you have abandonment issues, codependency, lack of boundaries. Karmic soulmates really mirror your wounds. Work partnership soulmates or harmonious relationships and soulmates support your purpose and help you bring peace. They're not trying to change you up all the time. So it can feel intense at first, but some of the identifiers that you've met a harmonious soulmate is you just know because you feel safe, you feel steady, and you feel aligned. Okay? If you have to sacrifice your peace for passion, it's a karmic tie and not your long-term match. Okay, so I'll bring it back. Karmic soulmates bring unresolved patterns to the surface. I read people all over, and they're in relationships because it feeds their ego. It helps them to be codependent. It helps them to enable other people. It helps them to not feel abandoned. And that's where we get into this fantasy and just we run with it. There's also this illusion of twin flames as an excuse for toxic cycles. So many cling to unhealthy dynamics under the label of twin flame, staying in pain, hoping for reunion. This can be a form of spiritual bypassing, okay? Real twin or deep soul connections support awakening. That doesn't mean that you need to tolerate abuse, confusion, or emotional chaos. Divine love doesn't abandon you, manipulate you, or ask you to suffer endlessly. Okay? A lot of times we're with people just to fill a void. Okay, so you magnetize your true match, your harmonious soulmates, by becoming the frequency of love, stability, and self-worth within yourself. You heal the inner child. You heal the parts fragmentation. You heal the unresolved wounds, which creates a space or a container, a void, for a soulmate who meets you there, not where you're wounded. So you have to understand this. If you're trying to attract your soulmate meets your vibration, not your fantasy. Real soulmates mirror love and divine connection. That doesn't really come with chaos. It comes with clarity, peace, groundedness. Real soulmates, real love is a form of recognition, remembrance, rest. It inspires your growth and doesn't threaten your worth. It challenges you, but with kindness, not cruelty. If love is expanding your soul and grounds your nervous system, that could be a soulmate you may want to build with. You may want to marry. You may want to live with, okay? That's what we have to understand, is that we have a very skewed view of love. I had someone tell me, that's what comes with love, the pain. All of your love partners have come with pain. All of your family members' love has come with pain. Okay, and it's not to say that with people we're really in a harmonious relationship with, there won't be the ebbs and flows of life. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I see on a large scale so much chaos that we're masking and calling love. So much, enabling and toxicity that we're thinking is the one, thinking it's our soulmate. If you're trying to find your soulmate, you want this give and take. That is the law of the universe. That's God. So the left side of the body is your yin, you receive in, and then you've got the right side of your body is your yang, you give out. You have your feminine side of the body and you have the masculine side of the body. I would claim that's part of the laws of this matrix. That's part of the laws of energy, is that there's this duality here. And you could say, we think of like the God that had both masculine and feminine aspects, right? So then you have the living, breathing cross. So then, you could say the androgynous God is the oneness of this duality, right? Some people are at this level in this incarnation. We have this huge movement of the LGBTQ community standing up for themselves and their originality and their authenticity and saying, I want to love who I want to love and I want to be who I want to be. Because we're here at this karmic time in the collective to understand the androgyny of the human being, the oneness of the human being. They're here to teach us this. They're at a higher level of consciousness here. People at high levels of consciousness see beauty in both men and women. I don't judge it. We should accept it. We should open it and allow them to teach us the truth of love. Okay? So what I'm trying to say here is, if you are saying, before you write me and put one question in, or book a whole reading on your love partnership, you can take a look at this energetics or understand the energetics of the masculine and feminine and ask yourself, honestly, is this person the one for me? Is there a flow, a dance of harmony? Or is it energetically like, just crazy? If it is, you're with a karmic soulmate and you need to be asking your relationship guide, your work guide, your higher mind, source, the ancestors can help you with this, the ancestors of light, and say, what is the patterns I need to understand with this relationship? What are the laws I need to understand with this relationship? What are the lessons I need to learn? And you will stay in these karmic cycles of relationships and karmic soulmates until you get the lessons, until you master what you've come to Earth to do. Earth is a classroom, so you have to get the lesson done and master it before you get to the next grade or the next lesson, the next soulmate. Okay? So we don't want to hear that. We want to hear there's one person for us forever, and then that goes left by human nature. It just, everything changes with time. So then that person is the one, and then these women, a lot of times men move on a lot easier, some men. And the woman is feeling like there's never going to be anyone else for her. There's never going to be another man for her. It was just him, and will I ever find love again? Of course you will. Stop giving into this fantasy and romanticizing soulmates. I've been talking about this in my group chat recently. Okay, so join the journey with JoJo. It will change your life for the better. It's so powerful to get these tools in your hand, and I help you remember who you are and how to, create laws, understanding of laws, so you can manifest your best life and not have to pay out psychics and mediums anymore. Understanding your own channel, okay? Your spirit in a body. So understanding the energetics of flow between masculine and feminine energy is key to looking at these relationships. You're asking your guides, what are the lessons I need to learn? And sometimes as soon as you do, there will be a shift in your life. That's how you trigger shifts, is this communication with the divine, all that is, the matrix, the universe. The universe is saying, aha, she's starting to get it. Proceed forward down the black and white checkered path. Go look at my website, jojoempathic.com. You'll see my new header. It's like Alice in Wonderland themed. I love it. But the black and white checkered, remember I'm a medium here, so I speak in symbols, is a path of free will. Okay? It's a path of, I'm going forward and I don't know everything. I don't want to control everything, but I'm still going to press forward, trusting, using my own free will and power, Christ consciousness. Okay? So once you've learned the lesson with the karmic soulmate, what you're supposed to do is move on. You're supposed to cut cords. You're supposed to let go. A lot of times we hold on and it produces this red anger energy that's stuck to our field or all around her. They break up and, there's still pieces of him with her and her with him. And we're walking around with our karmic soulmate's energy still with us when we know it's best to move on, when we're trying to let go. Cords begin to form in this dynamic. Sometimes we go through trauma with karmic soulmates and parts of their soul fragments and is still with us. So we can have parts of this person's soul with us, keeping us tied to them, having these toxic bonds, having cords come out. All of a sudden you got disease where the cord is. You got pain where the cord is to someone else. You're telepathically synced into their mind, their dreams, and you don't know why. It's because the invisible world is, the energetic world is invisible, okay? So you have to get into your higher senses, dear one, to sense these patterns, these cords, these bonds, these contracts, and you need to know how to work it. You need to know what to do with it, and you need to choose wisely based on love, not fear, truth, not fantasy. Okay? I was talking about in my group chat how we just tell ourselves illusions all day long. We lie to ourselves all day long. We stick to these stories that aren't even true about other people, about ourselves, and we run with it. We run with it as if it's truth, but it's fantasy. And that's where you find yourself in a dark hole, in a spiral it's hard to get out of, in toxic karmic soulmates that you're all beat up, you're confused, you're longing, and you don't know what to do, and you begin to feel hopeless, and you feel down for yourself. That's not love. That's not love. You're missing the mark. You're supposed to be learning with this person and practicing your ability of law of detachment, your ability to easily let go when it's no longer serving you, versus holding on and clenching on and doing things to please someone else or get the approval of someone else, or to not be, to avoid the disapproval of society or someone else, or big one, fear that you'll be, condemned to hell, whatever the church has you believing with that. So understand that karmic soulmates mirror your wounds. Harmonious relationships don't want to change you. They help support your mission. You can work really well with your harmonious relationships, okay? And you're not asking a psychic, is this the one? Because you just know. And I would say when you find the one, there may be one or two in your life, throughout your life contract. You want to get with an astrologer, and you want to get a synergy chart, and you want to confirm what energy you're reading with what God says, which I'll say is like what the planets are saying, what the stars are saying. And your synergy chart will be your natal chart plus their natal chart, and it'll show you this confirmation that you are in a harmonious soulmate relationship, or you'll see a lot of karmic patterns and you'll get that understanding as well. Okay, so that's another way to kind of, fact check or double check with a spiritual teacher. I would recommend you get with an astrologer and just put the charts up. And the quicker you're able to accept it, that this is a karmic soulmate, even though you like this person, the quicker you're able to move forward and get to the right one. The less pain that you'll be in, the less suffering that you'll be in, but we're programmed to like it. We're programmed to like suffering, like a soap opera. We're entertained by it. We're hooked on it. We're hooked on these sad stories we tell ourselves. We're hooked on the pain. We're hooked on the suffering. We're addicted to it like a rope, binding us to the pain. I have a really inexpensive letter to help you cut the cords to your pain in toxic relationships on my website, jojoempathic.com/shop. You can download that, fill it in with your meditations. It will guide you, and it's super helpful. Because cut those cords. You don't need to be tied to the pain. And you need to have awareness that you're addicted to the pain. You're addicted to the suffering, and like a mirror, what will that manifest? More of it. You are a powerful manifester of your reality, but you're also God and the devil, you could say. You're also a destroyer of energy. And it's your choice what you lean into, and it's your choice who you get one with. Okay? Get out of the fantasy. Start telling yourself the truth. It'll help you to get from your goal to your manifestation a lot quicker. You're the block to it. Your mind, your belief, your inability to move on, to let go, to process energy, process emotions, to cut cords. Once you cut cords and close quantum doors, you're more free in your thought. You have more space. You're able to progress forward a lot easier versus carrying the backpack with the rocks in it, the weight, the turmoil. A lot of times we like to identify with our pain too. I have PTSD. I hold on to things. I can't let things go. I'm so shook by this event, and I identify by it. Okay, that will also hold you back. And I can empathize with that one. PTSD is no joke. But I am a healer, and I practice it in my own walk, and I preach on it, that I think that we have to believe that we can heal PTSD, that we can move forward and peace with the things that are really turbulent and hard, perhaps looking at the fact that maybe we signed on to it before we came to Earth. We chose to go through the hard time and the challenges before we came here as a part of our essential need to grow and evolve. So don't be corded to your pain, or else you'll manifest that in your relationships. Check your astrology, look at your life contract, check the energy out, and you'll just know this is someone I can get down with. This is someone I can be one with. This is someone I don't want to change. You know, he got it going on, I got it going on, and we're one. Okay, I don't want to change him. He supports me. He lifts me up. I was just talking about this in my group chat too. Me as a woman, I don't give men the time of day anymore because so many men in this society are so, especially in America, warped to Christianity. Even if they claim they're not, there's a hook in their mind, like an implant, and it governs the way they interact and perceive reality. And so a lot of men, they want to step to me. I had a guy, I'm not on dating apps, I refuse. But I was on a dating app, and I had made a switch from an iPhone to Android for the first time in my life since middle school. Okay, by the way, I was one of the first kids in my middle school to have an iPhone. First, I'm that generation. I made a switch, I'm tired of it, and the Starlink shit's about to be in that. No. Anyways, this guy has the nerve to say, you don't have an iPhone? And I'm like, what's it matter? That's what you're thinking about? You're not going to think about giving to me as a woman, okay? You're not in your healthy masculine. You're in your toxic masculine. And I've gotten so tired dealing with so many men and trying to date. And plus, I'm a minister. I help depossess people. I help heal people. I attract people that need healing, people that need depossession, like flies on shit. And so to help me to be more selective is I just give men ultimate, if they try to talk to me, I tell them right away. So you're not wasting your time. You're not about to get hit with a mirror so that, you don't mess yourself up messing with me. I say it right away. I say, I don't date. I'm only interested in giving my time and energy to men that are interested in marrying me and that understand the masculine and understand the feminine energies and that understand energetics and soulmates and that are very spiritual and understand that they're psychic. They understand their intelligence at a high level. If you're trying to date and get to know and not provide, you won't get the time of day to speak with me. Been around the block too many times and I read too many people. So ladies, take this as advice. I speak about Shira Seven a lot. I love her. I think she's amazing and I love what she's doing to help women because we're so stuck in fantasy and we're so overly giving. We're trained to overly give and it's not working. We are in a shift of the rise of the feminine and men are being very, emasculated from that. And instead of rising up and healing themselves, they're really sinking. And they're not able to stand by dominant women. They're only coming from a place of ego and control and a belief tied to the church saying what is or should be. So that's my recommendation. Don't just give your energy out, ladies, to all of these men unless they can really show you that they're down to be your work partnership soulmate. You're going to waste your time. You're going to go through hassle. You're going to get irritated. You're going to lose. Don't do it. And that all weighs off on you. You get left with the energetics of like, I'm not good enough. No, don't do it. So when you're really getting serious about finding the one, set your laws straight and hold to it. Be convicted in it. Be grounded. You start attracting all these men. Say, look, I've been around the block. Look, give them a little attitude. Like, I don't date. I'm just here to be with someone that wants to marry me, and see if he can ride with that, if he's not getting in his feelings about it. Because a lot of men will. You don't want to go get your nails done with me? No, I don't. Can you give? Can you give me love? A lot of men struggle with that. Can you ride with a woman that's dominant and still be dominant to me? Can we dance? Not many men can, and so many women feel hopeless because of that. Instead of seeing how special it'll be to be with the one person, how special and unique it'll be when you find the one that can dance with you, that doesn't need to change you, that can bring harmony to you. Okay? So it's a healthy woman, it's a healthy feminine, and a healthy masculine. Okay? That dance. And if you like, women and you're a woman, it's still that healthy give and take, that healthy yin and yang. Okay? That's soulmates here. Okay? That's soulmates. It's a dance. It's a harmony. And that's your way. And ladies, if you approach men like that, and you'll find the one a lot quicker instead of wasting your time with all the BS that these men are playing and trying to get control and not really love. So there is hope out there for you. It's on divine timing, and it's a very unique relationship that you're seeking. So hold out and stay grounded, and don't just give it away. Your energy is valuable. Your energy is what feeds your body. Your existence runs off your life force, your source, your spirit, your chi, your ki, your prana, your Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost. So that's what I have to say about soulmates. Before you write me, tell is he the one? He's not. And you would know. And save your money and book with me to clear yourself, be honest, heal yourself, or learn spiritual development, or maybe speak with a loved one on the other side. That's what I'd say you should be seeing psychics for. Don't abuse them, don't use them, unless you're really, you know exactly what your focus is, your intent is, and you have respect for the psychic as a teacher, as a healer, and a guide for you. We're not respected in this field. We're not. We aren't seen as, spiritual, teachers or healers, but that's what we are. And it is a very holy, sacred work when you're able to read someone's contracts, their divine contracts, and not many people can. For example, I had someone in here the other day telling me that they had a psychic tell them that this person was the one, but it wasn't. Because they don't have the keys to the light. They're not working with the light to see the truth. And many truths exist at once. And that's a higher form of consciousness that you may want to align to in order to find your balance here. So that's my 2 cents on soulmates. Book a reading with me at jojoempathic.com. Links are in the description box. I also have a really good book, Spiritual Awakening with Ancient Intelligence, that I recommend. It's super good. You can pick up a paper copy. My office is in Frisco, Texas, or order one. Or you can get the digital copy for under $10. It's really good. It'll teach you how to think for yourself on a deeper level, understanding more of the laws of the universe and how to understand and interpret yourself, as well as how to spiritually clear ground and get centered and focused and tap into your higher source, which will guide you in peace, in truth, and love, real love, not this fantasy love. And that's what you deserve. You are love. And the more you love you, the more you love God, and the more you can love others when you understand that truth. Thank you so much.